Hello, and welcome back to.
Comments Corner.
The best news about that is the microphone peaked, and I actually couldn't hear the second half of that. It was very Greatest Showman, but it was
It
sensational.
was a bit.
And
I think if I went for that much volume, I don't need to be as close to the mic.
exactly, I would actually go further away, but it's okay because for the audience, it just was Comments Corner. But I think that works really well. So welcome
Honestly, if
back.
you don't get to hear that, the yeah bit, the reverbs, like the actual. Oh,
Mm,
mate, I impressed
he's
myself.
got yeah, he's got that vocal range, guys. Got that
That's
vocal
what I'm
range.
saying.
So welcome back to our Friday comments exclusive YouTube exclusive show where we react to your comments. Warning: these episodes are recorded in advance because of a certain sir's holiday to Greece.
Sorry, guys.
So
Sorry.
these are
Sorry.
recorded a little bit in advance. So any comments you've put on the last two episodes will not be in this comments
We
corner.
will
They will
get to
be.
them.
We'll get to them. Don't worry. We'll just subscribe, and we'll get there. Okay. Don't worry. Calm
Yeah.
down. Calm down. Let's dive right into our first comment. Hi, you mentioned exercise a lot. Should I exercise in the evening then to help me feel tired? This is a great point because we talked about this in our sleep episode. That exercising throughout the day, and actually in our last comments corner, you mentioned a young man who was struggling to go to sleep, and maybe he wasn't wearing himself out enough, which meant that he wasn't tired,
For sure.
like when it was bedtime, basically. But with exercise, we need to be very, very careful about when we do exercise. And obviously, exercising throughout the day is very, very important, but we don't want to exercise super, super close to our bedtime for the very, very simple reason that to exercise, you need to be quite active and excited and like physically moving. You're in your sympathetic nervous system when you're exercising, obviously, because you're using your muscles. Otherwise, it's not really exercising, right? But that doesn't bode well for your sleep cycles, basically, because to go to sleep again, to simplify it, you need to be very, very relaxed, quite bored potentially, so your brain can drift off into sleep. And so, if we exercise too late into the evening, we are going to put back our kind of our ability to go to sleep, just because our body isn't ready to go to sleep. Because when we're exercising, we're obviously using our muscles a lot, but even in the immediate pause after exercising, your body is kind of resting and starting to relax. It doesn't get to a point where it could actually fall asleep very easily for a little while afterwards. So you want to leave probably a 3 or 4 hour gap. So if latest, I would say exercising, ideally, depending on the exercise, obviously. If it's a really really intense exercise, even further away. But maybe the latest, if you go to bed at 10, let's say, latest exercise maybe at 5ish, 6ish o'clock. Not much later than that, just to give your body plenty of time to relax and calm down before going to sleep. But obviously, if you're running a marathon or something, then do that in the morning. That's a morning activity. Don't do that
Yeah.
later on.
Yeah. And I
You're
think
going to get
it's
great sleep after that. Sorry.
For sure, for sure. No, you're right, and it's just like it's a bit tricky that one, right? Because like organized sport, if you train on a weeknight,
True.
you might be finished till 9. And
Mm.
I know it's coming to a bit of like recently, Kevin Danto, Tottenham Hotspur, absolute legend, king, hero, Cape Crusader,
Long
mate.
throw,
This geezer, pal,
maestro.
absolute, yeah, what a hero. I love that geezer, man. He was just he come out recently and done an interview and was just like, oh, it's not something that professional athletes talk about, but like if you play at 8 o'clock and you finish
Yeah.
at 10 and you're home at 11:30, he said a lot of professional footballers will struggle to get to sleep till 2, 3 in the morning
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because of that. They are not in the right sympathetic nervous. They're in their sympathetic nervous system, sorry, and they are more alert and often if you are in that like upper echelons of athletic performance, you'll probably be dissecting and analysing how you did, what went well, and probably fixating on what
Yeah.
didn't go well, which is hindering your sleep. So I think Adam's exactly right. Make sure you are trying to do it earlier the better. But obviously, life is life. You do the round the lanes on Thursday. You probably don't finish that till quite late. So if it's a throw up between, oh, it's too late, so I'm not going to bother, or doing it, do it. But if you can try and get it done a little bit earlier, that's going to help you. But it's not too much of a hindrance, I'd suggest, if it was a bit later. Like, do
For
your
sure.
exercise.
Definitely, I think that's a really great point. These things always, the reality of our schedules often clashes with what would be ideal
For
for in
sure.
terms of these bodily processes and stuff. So like basically, don't run and then jump into bed. Give
Yeah,
yourself
for
a bit of
sure.
a gap as much as you possibly can.
Have a cup of tea,
Ideally,
have a shower, go to bed.
exactly right. Decaf cup of tea, obviously. Decaf.
Obviously.
Get rid of that caffeine. Get out of there, guys. Fantastic. Okay, so another question, also about sleep. Actually, I really enjoyed the sleep episode, so thank you for making it and doing what you do.
Very
Thank you very
lovely.
much.
Nice one.
Again, flattery. We'll always get you on the show.
Mm.
I was wondering though, what dreams have to do with good quality sleep and if they mean anything. What a question. What a great question. And we will do dreams. We will do dreams in a future episode. But what I want to touch on really, really quickly with dreams is that they happen. So basically, your sleep, if you're asleep for 8 hours, is a good amount of sleep. We want to be sleeping for 8 hours. You have a bunch of different stages of that sleep. Okay. The first stage is NREM sleep, which is non-rapid eye movement sleep, where your body is basically paralyzed. You don't move very much, which is why it's non-rapid eye movement sleep. This is where your deepest kind of sleep happens. And this is where your brain cleans itself. This is where the cerebrospinal fluid does most of its work, and the lymphatic system cleans out most of the sleep. Later on in your sleep cycle, you have REM sleep, which is your rapid eye movement sleep, which is dreaming sleep. That's a little bit a higher level of sleep, so you're more conscious, which is why you can remember your dreams. But that's where the dreams come in. So what all dreams are, or all the current scientific research suggests that dreams are, is when your brain refires the neurons during the day and strengthens them and helps them to grow and learn, basically, your brain, because you're a more conscious state at that point of the night, and it connects them together. Dreams act as a way to connect memories and thoughts together. The way that becomes random memories, sometimes like, storylines and stuff, is it's just kind of the way that your body and brain projects the mind inverts and kind of spirals up into some version of the reality experience. And all that's happening when you're sleeping is your brain is refiring those neurons, and it's being interpreted as some kind of storyline in your kind of conscious mind. But obviously, I think we all, when we have dreams, if we remember them, they're quite hazy, they're not quite clear. There's never like anything solid in there, and it's because you're not kind of aware and focusing on that thing. But the important thing I want you to take away: dreams don't mean anything. There's not like a, there's no we don't have the ability to
Deeper
tell the
meaning,
future.
for sure.
Yeah, there's no like future. It doesn't mean these things are going to happen. If you have a scary dream that wakes you up, jolts you up in the middle of the night, that's a horrible experience, and we've all had that. But it doesn't mean nothing's going to happen. It doesn't mean there's more likely to happen. But because you are more conscious in that moment, the dreams can access those other parts of your brain, like your worry system, that it can't be accessed in other parts of your sleep. So, but finally on sleep, and this is why 8 hours is so important, because you have different types of sleep at different stages of the night. If you go to bed late, you lose a bit of your NREM sleep. If you wake up early but go to bed on time, you lose a bit of your REM sleep. So you need to be in bed for 8 hours a night consistently to make sure you're getting both these types of sleep and all the sleep stages in between, to try and get, because our brain needs all of it basically. So yeah.
100%. Nothing to add for me, my dog. That was, yeah, exactly right.
And I think what you should dream about tonight is subscribing to the YouTube channel so we can have more comments and comments corners. So yes, thank you
we'll
for
definitely
watching.
do, I think we'll imminently at some point
Imminently.
do our dream podcast.
A dream podcast.
Because you're
My
right.
dream podcast will be a dream podcast. Look at
You don't get that anywhere else, folks.
that. What wit and humor. But thank you very much for watching this week's episode of Comments Corner. We will be back next week for more comments and more corners, but from the same day. So again, these comments are from
like 30 seconds from now.
As you'll see, from in the same outfits. We're not going to change.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend.
Also.
Let's not mess around with that. But see you next week. Thanks for watching.